So since today's the Grammys, I'm going to give my thoughts on who should win Song of the Year. The two for who I believe should win Song of the Year is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar and Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. But the two who I believe the industry might give it to, I believe for them it's between Good Luck Babe and Birds of a Feather. I'm only going to explain two of these. Now, to be able to understand completely the qualifications for Song of the Year is not just based off of the most popular song. It's an award that ideally goes to the songwriter. So it's based off of the things that make a song a song. The lyrics, the melody, and its impact, more specifically its cultural impact. That's why Not Like Us is a personal bias on my list. Kendrick Lamar being the only songwriter on this song, you have to literally kiss his penmanship. Being able to turn a diss track where you are calling out your opponent for being a predator, for being a culture vulture, and being a cultural appropriator, and that song becoming a #1 rap hit already makes historic waves that check off a number of songwriting impacts. But then you look at the lyrical play that is in this song, and he managed to make the phrase "they not like us" mean 3 different things in the target of which he was calling out. The first time we hear the chorus after the first verse is a verse that's essentially calling out Drake and a bunch of people within his circle as well as within the industry, both having pedophilic tendencies, being pedophilic, and being predators within the industry. So you can accommodate the first idea of "they not like us" to "them niggas are pedophiles, they not like us." And then the second time we hear it after the second verse, it's Kendrick Lamar calling out Drake for his neglect to LA and West Coast culture, and how he has used being in Hollywood to act as if he is Hollywood. And there is so much culture, especially musically, from the streets of California, the streets that he never grew up on. So when you hear "they not like us" that second time, you're now listening to him make the point that he is not a West Coast nigga. He's nothing like the people that I'm around, and he can never match a flame to the West Coast culture. Then when we hear it a third time, third verse is an African American breakdown. Drake's issues go a lot bigger than just a West Coast type of field. He's not African American. And while he may hang with the niggas in Atlanta and those niggas may give him a little bit of cred, he has nothing in common with them. And that he neither understands nor cares for African American history because he's doing actions that damage our culture the exact same way that colonizers did. So in that third "they not like us," he is quite literally saying that nigga ain't even an African American. The lyricism is genius enough to hold on to the fragments of how redundant the song becomes to the point where it's a 10. Then we go into Beyonce Texas Hold'em for number 2. While this can be argued, I personally don't believe that this song has had enough popularity on its credit mark, but the lyricism and cultural impact to it makes it enough for it to be a high contender for Song of the Year. That is the fact that in Texas Hold'em, she's critiquing the national opinion that Beyonce cannot make country music because she's not country. And I suppose you can call it an analogy since she uses the famous poker game Texas Hold'em. Most of you niggas that are in country aren't even Southern anyway. You can just put it on the table for real what your issue is with me. But I'll literally be damned if you think I can't participate in this due to your false conception of who I am. She does all of this while giving you a hold down, throw down song. But what I think is the most genius part is the ending, which is the transition or the deconstruction of that Southern melody, which is that more familiar pop and R&B Beyonce that everybody knows her as. The entire Texas Hold'em song is such a swift fuck you to people who assumed to know all of Beyonce's cards when she has 2 hidden in the deck, which is the fact that she's a Southern